Southeast Asia's biggest landfill reaches 50 meters into the sky. The Bantar Gebang landfill in Bekasi, on the outskirts of Indonesia's capital Jakarta, is continually being rebuilt by an army of excavators, toiling to prevent the mountain of trash from avalanching. Numerous landslides have buried people living around the dump over its 33-year history. The landfill sprawls across 110 hectares and is constantly growing. 7,000 tons of trash are added daily to the site of 40 million tons of garbage produced by the 32 million people living in the greater Jakarta area. The site is a product of Indonesia's haphazard approach to waste. Since there are no formal rules for segregating and sorting trash for recycling, most of it ends up here. About 60 to 70% of the landfill is made up of organic waste, the cause of a noxious odor that overpowers the visitor long before the site comes into view. Indonesia's plastic recycling rate is 10%, and would be much lower if it wasn't for the country's 3.7 million waste pickers, 3,000 of whom work and live around Bantar Gebang landfill, collecting and sorting thousands of tons of Jakarta's leftovers. Without government initiatives to build a circular economy, we really depend on these people to manage our trash. Among those people is 49-year-old Kasnadi, a first collector, who works on the front line of Bantar Gebang landfill's waste management system. He retrieves any waste of value from the landfill and sells it to middlemen who sort it and sell it to recyclers. A first collector will salvage around 60 kilograms of recyclable post-consumer waste a day. Less if it rains, when the landfill turns sludgy. Kasnadi makes between $6.40 and $9.20 a day, depending on how much he can collect. The most valuable items he collects are recyclable plastics, polyethylene terephthalate being the prized type of plastic. Single-use sachets, which were introduced by Western packaged goods firms like Unilever and Procter & Gamble, are worthless. I came here because I needed to find an income. That was 22 years ago, Kasnadi told. Indonesia became a dumping ground for huge quantities of the industrialized world's trash when China banned imports of foreign plastic waste in 2017. While some of the plastic can be salvaged by waste pickers like Kasnadi and sold into the recycling trade, much of it is openly burned or dumped, finding its way into rivers and eventually the ocean. Indonesia is the world's second-largest contributor to marine plastic pollution after China, leaking more than 600,000 tons of plastic into the sea each year, a rate that sharply increased during the COVID-19 pandemic as plastic packaged online deliveries soared. Almost half of the total plastic waste generated in Indonesia is openly burned. Burning plastic produces carcinogenic toxins such as dioxins and furans. Open landfills also emit vast quantities of methane, a powerful climate adjutant, and leach toxins into the soil and water supply. In a settlement at the foot of the landfill, waste pickers live in corrugated iron-roofed homes, some made from waste, and bathe in water that comes out of a communal pipe. The landfill does not have a geomembrane to prevent toxins leaching into groundwater, so sourcing clean water is not easy for the people living around the site. There are no proper toilets, so people defecate in makeshift latrines made from slabs of wood built over the stream that runs through the village. Some people are trying to give waste pickers the opportunity to leave the landfill and find a new life away from it. But most waste pickers are reluctant to leave a place where they have lived rent-free for most of their lives. Child labor is not uncommon in the informal waste trade in Southeast Asia, and a big part of the waste picker workforce on Bantar Gebang landfill are teenaged or younger. A study by Save the Children estimates that 1,500 children work on the landfill as unpaid workers, collecting and sorting, or as paid workers loading and unloading garbage trucks. Society considers people who collect plastic as low class. They're not. They do a job that is more worthy of respect than most. They clean up after us, says Aguilar, who lived on a landfill for a year in his native Mexico before entering the recycling business 20 years ago.